Here is what most men fail to recognize. Love does not announce itself loudly. It does not rely on grand speeches or dramatic declarations. Real love proves itself quietly through consistent, repeatable behavior, not occasionally, not when it is convenient, not when the mood is right, but as a pattern over time. Today, we are going to talk about 7 things women consistently do when they genuinely love you. This is not about making you guarded or paranoid. This is about making you precise, because precision protects you from mistaking attention for commitment and investing years into something that was never fully real. And before we begin, if you value honest relationship psychology, real emotional insight, and content that helps you protect your heart while strengthening your mind, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps more than you think, and it allows us to continue bringing you content that actually changes how you see relationships. Now, let's begin. Number 1, she lets you into her world. When a woman genuinely loves you, she does not keep you compartmentalized. She does not date you in isolation. She integrates you into her life naturally, comfortably, and without hesitation. Real love is not shy. It is not evasive, and it does not need to hide. A woman who truly loves a man wants him visible in her reality. Not as a trophy, not as a status symbol, but as someone who genuinely belongs there. You meet her friends. Your name comes up in conversations when you are not around. You exist in her real, everyday offline world, not just in private messages or hidden moments behind closed doors. Because love is not something she stores away. Love is something she stands inside of. This is where many men make a dangerous mistake. They confuse a private relationship with being quietly hidden. A healthy private relationship still has presence. It still has acknowledgement. It simply maintains boundaries. Being hidden feels different. You never quite enter her real circle. There is always a reason, always a delay, always an explanation about timing, privacy, or how she just prefers to keep her world separate. Pay attention to the discomfort you feel when weeks quietly turn into months and nothing evolves. That feeling is rarely insecurity. It is often intuition collecting evidence. If she truly loves you, she does not protect her world from you. She opens it to you. Think about common scenarios men often ignore. You are never invited to social gatherings. Her friends know she is seeing someone, but they do not really know you. Family events happen repeatedly, and somehow you are absent from every single one. You exist in her phone. You exist in her free time. You exist in emotional or physical intimacy, but you do not exist in her life structure. That is not coincidence. That is containment. And here is the uncomfortable truth many men avoid. When a woman keeps you hidden, she is usually protecting something. Sometimes it is another relationship. Sometimes it is an image she wants to maintain. Sometimes it is an option she is not ready to release. Secrecy is rarely about privacy. It is usually about control. A woman who loves you does not want ambiguity around your place in her life. She wants clarity. She wants emotional and social alignment between how she feels and how she lives. This does not mean she must post you everywhere or force public intimacy before trust is built. It simply means she does not treat your presence like a liability. Love reveals itself through inclusion, not excuses. Number 2, she makes sacrifices for your happiness. When a woman genuinely loves you, compromise does not feel like negotiation or emotional bargaining. It feels intentional. It feels voluntary. It feels like a conscious decision. Real sacrifice is rarely dramatic. It is not self-destruction. It is not silent suffering. Real sacrifice is adjustment, the quiet willingness to bend when bending strengthens connection instead of weakening identity. A woman who loves you does not insist that everything must orbit her comfort zone. She does not treat every disagreement like a personal attack. Instead, she asks a deeper question. How do we make this work without either of us losing ourselves? That question changes everything. There is a massive difference between sacrifice and compliance. Compliance builds resentment. Sacrifice builds investment. You will notice it in everyday life. She adjusts her schedule because spending time with you matters to her. She considers your needs without turning them into a scoreboard. She meets you halfway even when it is inconvenient because the relationship itself has emotional value to her. This is not people pleasing. People pleasing seeks approval. Love seeks alignment. Here is something many men need to hear clearly. If everything always has to go her way, you are not in a relationship. You are in a convenience arrangement. Love never requires one person to constantly yield while the other remains unchanged. That dynamic is not romantic. It is extractive. A woman who genuinely loves you understands that happiness is not competitive. Your comfort does not threaten her. Your emotional needs do not reduce her value. She adjusts because she values what you are building together. Yes, everyone has boundaries. Yes, everyone has non-negotiables. Love does not erase them, but it softens rigidity. It replaces ego with flexibility. Observe the direction compromise flows. Patterns will always tell you the truth. Number 3, she cares about the people who matter to you. When a woman truly loves you, her emotional awareness expands beyond herself. Love widens perspective. It increases empathy. This is one of the quietest signs of real love, yet one of the most powerful. A woman who loves you starts caring about what affects you, even when it does not directly affect her. Your worries do not feel like background noise. Your family is not treated like emotional inconvenience. The relationships that shaped you begin to matter to her because you matter to her. You will notice small but meaningful behaviors. She asks about your parents and actually listens. She remembers when someone close to you is struggling. She checks on your emotional state without being reminded. That is not politeness. That is attachment. When love is genuine, emotional concern becomes shared territory. Your stress does not exist alone. Your challenges are not invisible. Now compare that to emotional separation. Your family struggles receive surface-level acknowledgement, but no follow-up. Conversations constantly circle back to her emotional universe. That is not independence. That is emotional distance disguised as self-focus. And patterns do not magically reverse with commitment. They deepen. Love does not need to be told to care. It responds naturally. Number 4, she accepts the rhythm of your life. Every man moves through life with a rhythm. His habits, routines, priorities, ambitions, and pace form that rhythm. A woman who genuinely loves you does not attempt to override it. She studies it. Love arrives with curiosity, not control. She observes how you balance work and rest. She understands your need for solitude or ambition. She looks for ways to synchronize rather than dominate. Sometimes she adjusts her schedule. Sometimes you adjust yours. The goal is not perfect symmetry, the goal is harmony. Contrast this with control disguised as concern. Your routines are criticized. Your priorities are dismissed. Your pace is labeled wrong or selfish. Slowly, pressure replaces partnership. Love discovers alignment. Control forces it. A woman who loves you integrates into your life while inviting you into hers. She reduces friction rather than creating it. Because long-term relationships are built on compatible rhythms, not forced synchronization. Number 5, she is proud of your accomplishments. One of the most revealing moments in any relationship happens when a man begins to grow, improve, or succeed. Not every woman is comfortable with male progress. A woman who genuinely loves you feels pride in your achievements. She does not feel threatened by your growth. She does not compete with your success. She celebrates it. She speaks positively about your efforts when you are not present. She encourages your ambitions instead of quietly limiting them. Your progress becomes something she emotionally supports. Many men overlook subtle resentment, passive comments, backhanded compliments, emotional distance during your achievements. These signs create invisible ceilings inside relationships. Love never requires you to remain small to remain accepted. A woman who truly loves you wants to see you win because your fulfillment strengthens the relationship, not threatens it. Number 6, she fights for the relationship as a unit. When a woman genuinely loves you, she does not treat the relationship like a temporary project. She protects it. She invests in it. She thinks in terms of us. She does not disappear when effort is required. She does not emotionally withdraw during uncomfortable growth. She collaborates. You see it in decision-making. She considers shared outcomes, not just personal convenience. She adjusts priorities when relationship stability is at risk. This does not mean she abandons herself. Love is never self-erasure, but it does mean she recognizes she is part of something shared. Contrast this with chronic self-prioritization disguised as empowerment. Every plan must accommodate her. Every sacrifice is expected from you. That is not strength. That is emotional extraction. A woman who loves you understands relationships require maintenance, shared experiences, and intentional bonding. Love fights for connection, not independence at any cost. Number 7, she listens with real attention. This is the most subtle sign, yet often the most revealing. Listening is not silence. Listening is presence. A woman who genuinely loves you absorbs what you say. She remembers it. More importantly, she adjusts her behavior based on it. Many people appear to listen. They nod. They respond. They comfort. But real listening leaves behavioral fingerprints. She remembers what stresses you. She recalls your priorities without reminders. She does not dismiss your concerns as exaggeration or inconvenience. Even in disagreement, she acknowledges your emotional reality. Performative empathy sounds supportive in conversation, but disappears in action. Real empathy transforms behavior. A woman who loves you protects your vulnerability. She does not weaponize it during conflict. She treats it as something entrusted to her. And this is where all 7 signs connect. She will not listen deeply if she does not respect your place in her life. She will not adjust if she does not value the relationship. She will not remember if she is not emotionally invested. Attention is effort. Effort reveals priority. Final thoughts. When you step back and observe these 7 behaviors together, something becomes very clear. They are not isolated gestures meant to comfort you. They are patterns. Real love is consistent. It does not appear during convenience and disappear during discomfort. One sign alone means nothing. 2 signs may still be coincidence. But when you see consistent alignment in how she includes you, supports you, adjusts for you, cares about your world, protects the relationship, celebrates your growth, and listens deeply, that is not luck. That is choice. And here is the most important truth. You do not need to interrogate her. You do not need to demand reassurance. You do not need to guess. You only need to observe honestly. Men lose emotional power when they ignore patterns in favor of hope, when they stay loyal to potential instead of reality. You deserve clarity. If this video made you pause, if it made you quietly reflect on a relationship in your life right now, that awareness is powerful. That is where emotional intelligence begins. If you found this valuable, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss content that helps you understand relationships on a deeper level. Also, drop a comment below and share which of these signs surprised you the most or which one you have personally experienced. Your story might help someone else gain clarity. And if you know someone who is emotionally invested but unsure if they are truly loved, share this video with them. Sometimes clarity spreads through conversation. Remember this. Real love does not keep you guessing. Real love shows you, consistently,